Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. And the reason I picked this book up is I remember as a child the Halloween Tree movie used to play every October, multiple times. I loved this movie. I watched it so many times, and nobody has heard of it. Nobody I know has seen it. I used to have a copy on VHS, but I don't have a VHS player anymore. And so when I saw that it was a book, I just knew that I had to pick it up and read it. And I saw it available on Hoopla, which is a an app that my library uses to check out ebooks and audiobooks. And I did read this, listen to it as an audiobook. Great narrator, short little story. It was a good afternoon for me to listen to this. So, what the Halloween Tree is about is there is a group of boys who on Halloween all gather together every year to go trick or treating. And they notice that one of their boys, Pipkin, is missing. He's not there. And so they go to his house and he comes out and he says, I'll meet you there. Go to this house, this one random house. I'll meet you there. We'll go from there. And so the boys, there's 8 of them, all are dressed as different things: a beggar, a hunchback, a witch, a mummy, a skeleton. And they all go to this creepy house where Mr. Moundshroud is, the person who lives there. And there's a tree full of jack o' lanterns that are carved and look different. And so that's the Halloween tree, obviously. So basically, Mr. Moundshroud takes them back in time and they learn about the history of Halloween. They learn about the history of why they dress the way they do. So they start in ancient Egypt where the mummies were. They talk about Dia de los Muertos, and the Day of the Dead. And they talk about the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the gargoyles and everything like that. And all the while, they are chasing Pipkin through time, trying to save him because it turns out that he's really, really sick. And so Mr. Moundshroud says at the end, like, if each of you, are you willing to give up a year of your life now to help this boy live? Because it's a year off the end of your life. And when you're 75 or 80, that seems like nothing. But some of you may be 45, 50, and then you're going to wish that you might regret it then, but is that worth it to you right now to save your friend? And I don't know, it was just I liked the going into the history. It was like the movie but different. The movie only has 4 characters, and then Pipkin, so 5, but 4 that they go back in time, and one of them is a girl in the movie, but there was all boys in the book because I don't know, this was written in the 70s and it was stories about boys. But I really enjoyed this book. I would love to listen to it again. I might listen to it again in October, like in the fall. I kind of wish that I had waited till then, just because definitely, obviously, autumn vibes and spooky Halloween. But I'm glad I picked it up because I had a really fun time with it. It was nice to hear the source material from the movie that I love so much and meant so much in my childhood. So, have you read this book? Let me know. What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about Chlorine by Jade Song. And this easy 5 stars. Definitely a 5-star book for me. I'm really happy. I've had quite a few 5-star books this year. And for being only 2 months into the year, I can't complain about that. So, this book is about Ren Yu, who is on the swim team. She's been a swimmer almost her entire life. She's very obsessed with it. Swimming and studying is basically her entire life. And she's also obsessed with mermaids. And so, this story is about her going through the swim team, her interacting with her teammates, becoming best friends with one of her teammates, and then it's basically about eventually she turns into a mermaid. And that, it just, I don't know, it was really good. There were definitely some body horror parts, some disturbing scenes that were written, but overall I really loved it. It read super fast. I realized while reading this book, I really need to stop reading books before school because I was reading this book and I was almost late to work again, which is what happened with another book I was reading earlier this year, just because I didn't want to stop reading. I wanted to find out what happened. I read this book in about 2 days. So I highly recommend it. It was very unique, 5 stars. Writing was wonderful. And it was a fun story. It was a fun take on mermaid myths and legends. And I really recommend it. So, have you read this book? Let me know. What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. And this is a memoir written by Jeanette about growing up with her family. And it was a difficult read because it had some difficult subject matter, but overall, I really liked it. It was an easy to read, difficult read. So it read very well, very engaging, captivating. I wanted to know what was happening. And basically, it is about her growing up with her brother and sister and her parents. And the beginning talks about how she's basically been raising herself, and her parents were very free spirited. They often would get up in the middle of the night and do the skedaddle, which is they would pack up all of their belongings and leave. Um, Lots of money trouble, grew up very poor. Um, there was a fourth child born, so it's Rosemary and Rex are the parents, and Lori, Jeanette, and Brian, and then Maureen was born. And it goes through her whole life where they would be fine and then they would be poor again, and then they came into a bit of money. Anytime they came into a bit of money, her dad drank it away, her dad gambled away, her mother had a teaching certificate and a teaching degree but wanted to be an artist. Eventually, they ended up in Welch, West Virginia, and were so poor they didn't have indoor plumbing, they didn't have an insulated house, they didn't have central heat and air. Just very, very poor. And it's her parents that kept them poor. And I swear, I'm surprised my eyes did not fall out of my head with the amount of times I rolled them at these parents, how selfish they were, and just how much you could tell that they didn't really care about being parents, but they wanted kids to support them. And so it does have a happy ending. Jeanette does end up moving to New York and standing on her own 2 feet, and now she is an author. She was a journalist as well. So it has a happy ending, unlike, I know there are some other memoir books about growing up in poverty and their lives, and they don't necessarily have a happy ending. So it was an uplifting ending. That was good. uh, as I've said many times before, I don't tend to write nonfiction books because, you know, how am I supposed to say how I feel about your story? But I really recommend this one. Apparently, it's a very popular book. I had never read it before. And my best friend was like, oh my gosh, I love this book. She said she might read it again now since I just finished reading it, and then we could talk about it. So that would be great. But anyway, highly recommend. It was a pretty quick read, difficult subject matter, but the writing was very captivating. Are there any other memoirs or nonfiction books that you think I would like, knowing that I liked this one? So anyway, let me know. Have you read this book? What did you think? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.